राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन ब्रजजनरंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रजजनरंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी 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 जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर सत श्रीमद श्रीवाइन के शेषी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य श्रीदास ठाकुर की ताय गौर प्रेमानंदे ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जायमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टकी. Reading from Canto 3, Chapter 7, text number 21. श्रेष्ठाग्रहे महदादिनी सविकाराणि अनुक्रमा तेभ्यो विराजमुद्धृत्य तम अनु प्रविशत् विभो श्रेष्ठवाग्रे महदादिनी सविकाराणि अनुक्रमान् तेभ्यो विराजमुद्धृत्य तमनु प्रविशत् विभो श्रेष्ठवाग्रे महदादिनी सविकाराणि अनुक्रमान् तेभ्यो विराजमुद्धृत्य तमनु प्रविशत् विभो माताजी सृष्ट्वा after creating agre in the beginning matadini the total material energy savikarani along with the sense organs anukramat by gradual process of differentiation tebhya out of that virajam the gigantic universal form Uddritya manifesting tam unto that anu later pravishat entered vibhu the supreme. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. After creating the total material energy, the Mahat Tattva, and thereby manifesting the gigantic universal form with senses and sense organs, the Supreme Lord entered within it. Purport. Fully satisfied by the answers of the sage Maitreya, Vidura wanted to understand the remaining portions of the creative function of the Lord, and he took the clue from the previous topics. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurun Shri Utapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Sha Namaum Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत श्राद्धा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम राम। Can you get this inside? Hare Krishna. First of all, I would like to thank the temple management for allowing me to speak something on this very important event of our lives, the divine appearance of their lordships Shri Radha Gopinath. They appeared on July 17, the same day, 37 years before. They are there on the altar still and giving us their infinite blessings on all of us. So this particular verse, shows the eagerness of Vidura to know certain things from Maitreya Muni. And Maitreya Muni is answering each and every of his questions, and Vidura is getting enlightened by those questions. Munayo sadhu pishtoham bhavadbhi loka mangalam yat krita krishna samprasto yenatma suprasiddhati. When Shaunaka Rishi and others, they asked questions to Suta Goswami. Suta Goswami thanked him. He said, you are asking these questions because these questions are worthy. Why? Bhavadbhi loka mangalam. They are all auspicious. Yenatma suprasiddhati. And when you come to know the answer, you completely satisfying the self. So if you see, the whole Srimad Bhagavatam is nothing but a series of questions asked and the answers given. Then some questions are asked and they say, oh, I heard this from this person, I heard this from this person, and then again that question answers are there. So Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, they are all based on this principle of questions and answers. Right? So you have certain doubts, you ask a question and the answers are being given to you. Arjuna was bewildered, he asked questions directly to Krishna and Krishna answered. Similarly, Srimad Bhagavatam is based on those questions asked by some devotees and answers are given. So here if you see Vidura, all throughout this chapter and earlier also, Vidura is asking questions more and more about the creation of the Lord, material creation. Sometimes we think that when you talk about the Lord, we only want to hear about His pastimes, His glories, but then it is also important we also know how this creation came about. And Vidura was very inquisitive to know about this. Why? How? I've heard like this. Can you tell me how? Like that. And then Vidura is also, Maitreya Muni is eager to answer all these questions. So this is a series of question answers which are very much, being observed and witnessed in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. When I first came to a temple here, I was just thinking the pravachan means only somebody will give lecture and go away. But then the lecture, after the lecture, it was opened for questions. Now can you imagine when the questions are opened, that means you have to face the challenges, right? So when somebody asks a question and you can say, I don't know. That means you are supposed to know or you are supposed to answer in a way which is quite satisfying, right? So when I heard this, I was wondering what is this? This is something different, unique. And then later on I came to know that this is happening all over our centers. All the ISKCON centers have this particular, principle of asking questions and getting answers. So this is so comforting actually. You can directly ask questions. Questions not challenging way, but in a very, very, humble way. I was making a mistake in the beginning. I made a lot of mistakes because sometimes I subtly asked some challenging questions and I got humbled also because of that. One question I asked is that, after the class, I asked His Holiness Radha Swami Maharaj, why are the planets moving like this, circular? Why? So I thought I asked a very intelligent question. So Maharaj looked at me and he said, because Krishna wants to show you what he can do, you cannot do. So he said, what you can do, he cannot do. What he can do, you cannot do. And then I said, wow, it's something quite relevant also. And once I asked him a question, he said, why is the sky blue? He said, because Krishna likes blue. No questions after that. Later on, I came to know that when I had to ask a question, I should ask something which is relevant, which is for my own purification, like that. So this particular principle of asking questions, getting answers for our own sake, that is there in all the temples. And Shri Radha Gopinath Mandir Chowpatty is also one of those where such things are happening based on the principles and teachings of Srila Prabhupada through the purports in Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. So Shri Radha Gopinath actually appeared on this particular day, July 17, 1988. It all started many years before when few of our devotees who were connected with our ISKCON Juhu, for some reason, they had to leave that place and looking out for some place for shelter. At that time, some few of our devotees were doing some Krishna Katha at Seaface Park, very close by here, thanks to Srinathji Prabhu, one of the very, very senior Vaishnavas. And later on, over a period of time, because he was the trustee of this place, this is called as a Lady Northco Hindu Orphanage, they started having some program which is a part of the Prasadam Hall at the moment. That was our temple. And there was this Iyengar's classes and my own coaching classes happening here, where you are sitting. And then slowly and slowly, we would share this particular premise with them. And then this was in 1986 when they moved over here. But we never had any deities. I just don't want to go into detail because it will take a lot of time. I wanted to share many more things. But just want to make you understand that how the deities came here. Mahaprabhu Prabhu, one of the most senior Vaishnavas, devotees of our congregation, and some others, they decided that we should have deities over here. They on their own decided that we should have deities. Either kya chota deities rakhna hai, kya fayda? We should have big deities. So Mahaprabhu ji was given some Lakshmi and said, you go to Jaipur and get Radha Krishna. He didn't know what to look for in the deities. Now if you ask any of our pujaris, they know completely what is to be expected when you have to, get a deities. But Mahaprabhuji did not know, Mahaprabhu did not know anything, what to get in the deities. So his wife, Palika Mata, said that, oh, you should look out for this, you should look for this, and that's all, go. So he went to one of the Pandey brothers, and then there he saw these deities already there. And he asked, he said, ये किसके लिए बनाया आपने? बोले ये एक वल्लभ विद्या नगर करके है गुजरात में, तो उनके लिए बनाया हुआ. And he asked him who is the person in charge, and he knew who is that person, because Mahaprabhu was an advocate. He had been involved with the Jew temple for a quite long time, from 1977 onwards. And he said, अच्छा ये है. So then he called him up, that person. He said, आपका टेम्पल कभी बन रहा है? बोला हमारा 2-3 महीना है. He said, एक काम करता हूँ, आपके लिए जो बना है ना वो हम लेके जाते हैं और आपके लिए 2-3 महीने में बना के दे देंगे. And he said that when Mahaprabhuji talks now, it's a one-way dialogue. It's not in one-way monologue. No dialogues, no questions asked. Just say what he has to say and then get out from there. So he didn't allow that person to speak also. When that person came here to give a class, he said like that, Mahaprabhuji tricked us, he just got our deities there. And then Mahaprabhu said, मैं अभी पैसा देता हूँ, ये लो पैसा, अभी हम लोग को तुरंत चाहिए. And that's how Radha, because the bluish Radha Gopinath, very unique. Nowhere you'll find Srimati Radharani like this. You'll find this way. But you'll find that Srimati Radharani is like this, Bhakti Tirth Maharaj, once he saw this deity, he says that Radharani is offering all your devotional service at the feet of Gopinath. That's how it is like this. So he got these deities. On their own, they had decided, the 2-3 of them. And then they came through different ways. That also is another story in itself. But then ultimately they landed here. His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj was not aware also, it seems, at that time. But when the deities were coming, he was there to receive these deities. And on July 17 of 1988, these deities were installed. And they celebrated the first Janmashtami in 1988, much to the pleasure of all the devotees. That time the devotee strength was only 30-40 people, like that. It is not so much. So it was a small altar, only one. Radha Gopinath were only there. And then later on in 1990, Gaur Nitai and Shri Giridhar Gopal, they appeared. So everyone wondering how this will fit. Because when one Shri Radha Gopinath were there, that time it was appearing that the altar is full. But then they had Gaur Nitai and Giridhar Gopal, and they felt that this is also full. But then ultimately in 2005, when His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj decided that we should have Lalita Vishaka, I was wondering at that time, I said, where will they fit? But somehow they also found their place here. So Lalita Vishaka, Shri Radha Gopinath, and Giridhar Gopal, and Gaur Nitai. And then later on, when His Grace Jananiyas Prabhu came, he said, you don't have Shaligram here? So he himself gave the Shaligram to us, and now we have Shaligram also on the altar, that's Janardhan. So this is how the Lord came here, and they are here since last 37 years. As I mentioned about, that here in this temple, the major foundation of our temple is based on hearing and chanting also. That is the strong foundation which is what Shri Radha Gopinath Mandir is made up of actually. So it is said that when Mahaprabhu Prabhu was attached to Lions Club, that time he was a very active member of Lions Club. This is way back in 1970s. And when he got connected with the Jew temple, he got his friends also along with him, 2 of his friends. One is Sadev Prabhu and Radha Krishna Prabhu. We know Radha Krishna Prabhu stays here only with Palika Mataji, who is doing the garland worship, garland seva here. And Sadev Prabhu. They were all like, they were like rummy players. They would play cards when they would go to there. But when Mahaprabhu Prabhu got connected, he got them also. And what a combination. These three became the foundation of our temple. Of course, along with Srinathji Prabhu and Krishna Chandra Prabhu. In a sense, Radha Krishna Prabhu, went all the way to New Vrindavan, left his very flourishing practice. He was a very famous dentist. Because it was needed for him to go to New Vrindavan, he went there to serve. Then he came back here. And so many services. And right now he is the head of the Annamrit Foundation, which is serving deities, prasadam for so many people, so many children. That's one aspect. Sadev Prabhu's son, Sachidanand Prabhu, he had his 4 wonderful friends. One is Bhakti Rasamrit Maharaj, one is Anandandavam Prabhu, one is Yudhishthir Prabhu, and Sri Gauranga Prabhu. So it seems that there was a debate competition for ISKCON, and then is science better than religion? So Sachidanand Prabhu spoke against, and Bhakti Rasamrit spoke for, saying that science better than religion, and Sachidanand spoke religion better than science. And through that, Sachidanand Prabhu got Bhakti Rasamrit Maharaj into the congregation. That time it was Devamrit Prabhu. Now Devamrit Prabhu had such a important contribution to our temple. When he joined the ashram and he became the temple president, everything changed. The concept of, chanting in circles, the idea of exclusivity while you do your chanting, make japa as your, priority. I still remember when you sit and suddenly if you're sleeping and you could be seeing him looking at you, then you understand that, oh my goodness, he's looking at me. Or somebody is just about to sleep, he'll just quietly come and make the back straight. So much of effort he had put over there. And not only that, because he's a very intelligent person, his classes and all were so much enthralling, absorbing, and also attracting so many people. He would go to IIT in the night because they knew that the students there would be awake even in the night also. To take some spiritual food, that is prasad, and then go and preach to them in the middle of the night and get them. Or some other attract them, and by the time would come back at around 1:30 or 2 o'clock, like that. That was his thing. And from there we got, Radhesham Prabhu, Gauram Prabhu, Satyanarayan Prabhu, and so many others, many more afterwards, who are also here, Vrachandra Prabhu and all others. But direct preaching by Bhakti Rasan Maharaj was that time Devamrit Prabhu got Gauram Prabhu, Radhesham Prabhu, Paramahamsa Prabhu, and others, Satyanarayan Prabhu. Now they became the main contributors afterwards. Radhesham Prabhu started preaching in Pune. Gauram Prabhu came here. He met with a major accident when they were gone for preaching with Bhakti Rasamrita Maharaj, with Devamrit Prabhu at that time. Met with a major accident, and then he decided I'll join the temple and I'll preach here. Now, let us understand one thing. All glories to the leader of the community over here, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. He is the one who is like a thread, going through all these activities. He is not to be seen anywhere here. Nobody knows what he has done, but he is the one who is responsible for each and everything that is happening in Shri Radha Gopinath Mandir actually. So it is said that, to go backwards again, that it is because of him that there was a culture of respect developed between the brahmacharis and grahasthas. When I came in 1991, I was preached to by a grahastha that brahmacharis are useless. They don't do anything. They just sit in the ashram, eat and sleep. And the brahmachari was thinking that outsiders are doing sense gratification. We don't need to associate with them. So there was a major rift between the brahmachari ashram and the grahastha ashram. It was because of him that culture of respect and the culture of cooperation and appreciating each other's contribution to this particular community, that was what was a major contribution at that time. Because all the time hammering to the grahasthas that the brahmacharis are so important for us, how we should respect them, how we should take care of them. At the same time, tell the brahmacharis how they are so important. In spite of all this, so many difficulties, so many of issues, still they come, they want to chant, they want to hear, like that. It is because of him, I still remember, I was allowed to go into the room. He started the classes for the brahmacharis on Chaitanya Charitamrita at around 10 o'clock. He would call all the brahmacharis inside the room, take up one verse or one stanza, whatever, or one page, and then he would speak something and then ask everyone to also contribute. I don't know, now the cassettes are not there. I had all those audio cassettes with me. And now they are no longer there with me. But those were one of the lectures where he was just making them aware, all the brahmacharis, their role. That being here, you just, only do patan. Patan and patan. Patan, patan. Patan, patan. So that is what he was doing over here with the brahmacharis while he was staying here. And then make them read the Shastra. And it is said that another aspect of his contribution here is the principle of hearing, Shravanam. One thing was that sharing all these things with the temple inmates, but for the general congregation, the importance of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam classes, and also the importance of hearing at different times the different things. So for this, what he did is that he made the whole hall AC. Agar garam hota hai to fir, you cannot hear, no? But I have never seen anywhere a temple hall being AC. Yeah, we have like, many temples, we have like some halls, which are AC, but not a temple hall. So the whole temple hall being AC, so that everyone can come here and hear attentively and not be bothered about, being, feeling very claustrophobic or stuffy. So that was another contribution of his over here. And the third contribution of his, obviously, we have many more things to share, but I'm saying the third contribution is long hours of Krishna Katha. Hours and hours of Krishna Katha. And the best part is that where you would speak and everyone would also sit and hear. No one would even look at the watches, Like we had the Sri Brihad Bhagavatam classes for 10 days. Then Gaur Purnima in 1997, I still remember, the whole of Gaur Leela was being narrated by him, for 10 days or something like that before the Gaur Purnima festivals. And not only that, even the Sunday classes, the Srimad Bhagavatam classes, all these wonderful classes, hours and hours. Now we realize that how those classes and all are so important for us, that because slowly, the principles of and the philosophy got into your heart because of those classes. Because you would inject all these philosophies through the classes. And you just think that, we are hearing classes, we are hearing wonderful leelas, but through the leelas, you would just inject all the philosophy into our hearts, actually. That was his another contribution, I would say. Apart from that, I would just like to share some things, because I'm supposed to speak only for half an hour more. So I'll just, whatever I need, it's possible, I'll just do that. When we started this temple, Radha Maharaj always said that the inmates should sleep with the rats. Inmates should sleep with the rats. Rats should be moving around. Because when the deities came up, the present 1/4 or 1/6 of the prasadam hall was the brahmacharya ashram. You know, I shall remember Radha Gopinath Prabhu would be sleeping on the floor, on like bunkers would be there. He would be sleeping down and Devotee Prabhu would be sleeping up, something other way around. And if at all, if Devotee Prabhu wanted some cloth or something like that, he has to get up because it has to open from the top to remove something. No, that was what how it was, like that. And rats would also move around. Huh? And one day I was there attending the Mangal Arati, and one rat was moving around nicely all over on the altar. He was the only person who could take the dust of the feet of all the deities, you know. And then that time I would remember, I saw Bhakti Rasan Maharaj's face, just thinking, like this, again, you know, means he was thinking that again, it is like this. He was little frustrated because then that rat came there, you know. And then so much of effort was made to see that the temple is clean. Because Mahaprasad lying here, there, everywhere, you know, and then you will always invite such guests in our temple, you know. But now after so many years, we find now, I don't think any rats are there. Maybe some here and there, but no rats, because of the cleanliness aspect, you know. And Maharaj would always emphasize on this cleanliness aspect, you know. Obviously, you know, altar would not be an altar with Radha Gopinath and the deities, other deities, but altar would be an altar with, you know, peacocks, parrots, cows. So now we have only the peacocks there, but the altar would be full with all this. There will be swans, you know, cows, deer, you know, parrots, and peacocks, monkeys. So all these found their places here, you know, because Radha Gopinath is there, he is from Vrindavan, and then obviously when he is there, so this, and you know, animals will also be there, birds and animals. That was what was our Radha Gopinath altar. Now if you are talking about Radha Gopinath Mandir, I would say what are the major attractions? What exactly is there in Radha Gopinath Mandir? First of all, the ambience. You know, so much of effort has gone into just to make it look so beautiful. There are so many students from architecture colleges and all, they come to see the beauty of this. You know, you'll never find jharokas having this such a wonderful decoration. You'll never find those things, altar, doors with gold platings and everything, which was at that time happening. The wonderful altar with a sky blue ceiling and particular, you know, what are these called? Chandeliers. Now if you see, the temple is a temple, no doubt, but within the temple also there is so much of ambience. Sometimes people come, they don't look at the altar, they look at this. And they go away also. Because this is more attractive than anything else, you know. So if you look down also, there is Meena work. Look up also, there is something. So anywhere you look, you know, you'll find something or other. On that side, all the Krishna Lila, here all the Gaur Lilas, you know. So ambience, that is what, you know, attracts some people to Shri Radha Gopinath Mandir. Second, I was thinking the attraction is the wonderful, beautiful, elegant dressing. You know, if you look at them, no, you feel completely mesmerized by just having darshan. People just stand there and look at the deities. What wonderful, very nice, very, 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 very meticulously dressed. You know, it's not only for the festivals. Any day you come, you'll find wonderful dressing taking place, you know. So all the contributions of so many wonderful devotees in the Pujari department, with Prem Kishore Prabhu and Purushottam Prabhu and our Vrindavan Priya Prabhu and others. So many, they see that the dressing is so wonderfully done, so elegant they look more beautiful actually. If you look at Srimati Radharani, you don't feel like looking at any other lady in the universe. They look so beautiful. Shishi Lalita Devi, Vishaka. So this is the beautiful, elegant dressing that also attracts. Third one is the opulent bhogas. If you see, like Radha Gopinath gets 6 times offerings, everywhere else also. But here, like, that particular taste is there, that particular fineness is there, where they get. And not only on the day, every day, but on festivals, they receive more than 1,000. 1,000 is now abhi kuch bhi nahi. Radhashtami kitna? Not in 3 digits. It's 4 digits now. So now I don't know when it will be 5 digits, but if it's 5 digits, we'll not be able to have them on the altar also for offering. But 4 digits to abhi hai. And each of those items are too good. So, bhogas and festivals also. Another wonderful, or maybe the most attractive features in our temple is the festivals. Nowhere we celebrate festivals with so much of joy. Like Jhulan Yatra, Jhulan Yatra means ekdam opulence. First you would have it here, now we are going down because there are so many people who want to participate. So many people want to sponsor the Jhulan. What flowers and all we see in Jhulan, that you'll find in Dadar market. Maybe half of that. So Dadar market में सब मिलके भी उतने नहीं रहेंगे फ्लावर जितना अपने झूलन यात्रा में रहता है इस तरह से. That's how it is. Then Sharad Purnima, we have Sharad Purnima festivals. Then we have Push Abhishek. How this Push Abhishek came? There was a riot, 1992. Nobody was allowed to go out. We all stayed in a temple. A lot of flowers were there because it was January time. Maharaj says, let's do Abhishek. And that's how it became a major event, the Push Abhishek at Shri Radha Gopinath Mandir. It has become every year event. Now there are 2 events, 3 events. Now the event in Vada also. And every event in Nasik also, in Nigdi also, everywhere. It's just getting copied all over. Right? The Push Abhishek. Right? Then afterwards, Holi. Holi celebrated. And one festival of Holi, it was like full chaos. Because somebody was doing Holi on the small Radha Gopinath, that is Radha Gopijana Vallabh. And all of a sudden he thought of just, sprinkling on the Vaishnavas here. And as soon as the piston was pushed, the colors flew all over on the temple hall, and everyone, as if they got ecstasy. They all started jumping and dancing, and then it was beyond control. Beyond control to the extent that the walls, the asanas, everything got spoiled. And Radha Maharaj just sitting there and just trying to, looking at everything. He didn't know what to do. We were thinking that he's appreciating, but he's thinking that he was appreciating that the devotees were enjoying, but he was also thinking that what's happening here now, like everything is spoiled. So that made him think that I should do something on it. Italian marbles came because of that. All these Italian marbles were put because he was thinking that every year getting painting done and everything. And then afterwards some system where only the holies for the deities and nowhere else and no one else. But all these things what you see in the temple now is because of some things. Like you see the benches there at the back. Benches are not there in the beginning. My mother-in-law, Kirtida Mataji, she could not sit on the floor. And she had to be arranged, some chair was arranged for her to so that she sit, and she would do translations. So Maharaj noticed that, Radhana Maharaj, he said that so many people will there who may not be in a position to sit down. That's why the benches came. So where there are people sitting there, the benches came because of that. Then when the sound system, we are talking about a sound system, Maharaj would always ask, right, in the beginning of the class, what he will say? Can everyone hear? And as soon as somebody says no, then he look at the sound system. Now just imagine he has made the temple for the sound box, this one also, for the speakers. So these are nothing but the sound system ke ghar. So beautification for that. So what you see over here is because of some things that has happened before and was a need felt, and then it was made. People wanted to stay up, sit, it was all crowded. They would just become, very eager to just take darshan or maybe sit in the temple hall. Then this jharok was made. So when these people sit there in Jaroka, they feel I am sitting in a mahal. Acha se, whatever. So this is what, had happened, right? Emphasis on devotee care. So it is said that, when devotees come here, they need to be taken care of. And because of which, the counselor system had started. It started with 5 Vaishnavas, Mahaprabhu Prabhu, Srinathji Prabhu, Radha Krishna Prabhu, Sahadev Prabhu, and someone. I don't remember the 5th one. I may have forgotten. 1, 2, 3. Krishna Chandra Prabhu. And Vishwar Prabhu was preaching at that time in the colleges. So he was one of those leaders at that time, preaching to those. Mahaprabhu's one favorite or thing was that, he would carry a lot of books in his dicky vehicles. And he would go to the colleges, medical colleges, and tell them whatever books you want, you can take. And at car center also, he had one garage which was full of books, whatever you want to take. So all these our doctors who were just at that time never had any money for buying anything, they would all go and steal as much as they could and take them and read, That is what they would do at that time. This was his very, very benevolent nature of Mahaprabhu Prabhu, So this was what is happening. So devotee care, counselor system, mentor system, all these started because the devotees needed to be taken care of. So this is the aspect of devotee care. Lot of things definitely we can speak about. The whole temple environment, ambience also is actually devotee care, so that we can sit. I remember once His Grace Radha Krishna Prabhu was mentioning that, he gave an example of Charlie Chaplin. Somebody asked, he had all those stone patches on his body, all the cloth which had patches of. So somebody asked, why are you having all these patches? You can just have something new. And that time he said that actually with the small patches, that's the original one of this coat. And rest of things are the added one patches. That means the patch was only small. Sorry, the original coat was only this much. But rest of it was all extras which over a period of time were made. So he said that ceiling is on the ceiling, that is the original. Baki sab brain out ho gaya hai. Not the ceiling is also not seen. So that is also new, So everything has changed over here, basically. So another thing was emphasis on simple living and high thinking. So if you are talking about it, Maharaj always emphasizes the principle of remaining humble, being tolerant, trying to cooperate with each other, and live a very simple life, but high thinking. He himself follows in his own. If you see the room where he stays, 35 years back, the room is the same size, and now also is the same size. He always sleeps on the floor. He doesn't have anything much comforts, but he always is seeing that how I can make this whole temple receptive for the audience to take shelter of Shri Radha Gopinath. Then one point, another thing is deeply rooted in the philosophy. Radha Maharaj always emphasized on the fact that, one should be strong in the philosophy. And some challenges would come and he would also correct it. One thing I would like to share, you remember all of us in Bombay, Ganeshji started drinking milk. All over places, it was on the television, Ganeshji starts drinking milk everywhere. So some of our enthusiastic devotees also thought we'll also try to find our Ganeshji drinks milk or not, So they got a stool here, and just at the entrance of Ganeshji, they took some, bowl with milk, and with a spoon they started offering to Ganeshji. And lo and behold, Ganeshji started drinking because it got disappeared. The milk was disappearing. So they were very happy. Our Ganeshji also is drinking milk, So when Radha Maharaj came here, he saw what's happening. He didn't know. Then he said, Maharaj, everywhere Ganeshji is drinking milk, our people also trying to find out whether Ganeshji is drinking milk. He became so upset. The next day class was on that. The next day class was that, don't you have faith that Shri Radha, Gopinath, they accept when you offer bhoga? 6 times a day when we offer bhoga, don't you have faith that they eat? Angani yasya sakalendra vrittimati. They can have it in any of the senses. Don't you think that they are eating? They are honoring prasad? Why do you have to just find out whether he is, Ganesh is having or not? Our Gopinath is having every day. Have that faith. And that lecture, full lecture on that. And everyone understood what mistakes we are doing and how we need to come back again and stick to our basics, training and education. So it is mentioned that, the first college preaching which started in 1996. During 1996, the Mahasatsang programs are going on for proper centennial. And then in Somaya College, it was quite a successful program. And then Maharaj just called Gaurang Prabhu. He said, you should start college preaching. And that's how the college preaching started. So in JJ, the preaching started. In Somaya, the preaching started. And Devamrit Prabhu, Bhakti Maharaj, you start preaching in Sion Hospital. And it all started like that. The college preaching flourished. And now we have the ISKCON Youth Forum all over, where Radhesham Prabhu, Gaurang Prabhu, they spearhead, and many others now, the brahmacharis. The training and education was the main purpose, that everyone comes here, gets trained. So we had GOSD lectures, then maybe we had, now we had Bhagavad Gita classes, Bhagavatam classes in a very systematic way. So all these things happened, right? So this is the main, you can say, USP of Shri Radha Gopinath, that different places there are different programs going on for education, for training in different ways. It's like that. I don't know, Jananas Prabhu may have come here or is coming. Jananas Prabhu actually never left Mayapur for 30 years. He just came in 2000, 2001 or 2000. Radhanath Maharaj just told him, why don't you come to Belgaum for the Rath Yatra? From Belgaum, he came to Kolhapur because he had to attend the reception of one of our devotees, Rupilas Prabhu. From there, he got him to Bombay. And for the first time, we had darshan of Janas Prabhu here in Bombay at that time. And then some or the other, I got involved into that particular Leela at that time of Radhanath Maharaj and Janas Prabhu. He called me, he said, Janas Prabhu has some teeth problem. So will you please take care of him? I said, fine. So I just saw him and I found that there are a lot of things to be done. And he had stayed for quite long. He wanted to go back to Shridham Mayapur. So I told Janas Prabhu that I will try to do it little fast. So I tried to do very, very fast. This was in the month of Jan. Then one day when I came to temple, Radha Maharaj just put his hand on my shoulder and he said, how is Prabhuji's treatment going on? I said, Maharaj, I'll just finish in about 4-5 days. He says, no, delay. I was wondering why. Just delay because we want him for the Pune Yatra. We want him to come for the Pune Yatra. I want him to have that experience of Pune Yatra. So then I had to rephrase my, and I had told that Maharaj, I told Janas Prabhu that it will take little more time. And that's why I delayed for another 20 days. The phone was coming from his brother, Pankaj Prabhu. When are you coming? Whenever. He said, no, my treatment is not yet over. And the treatment just got over just 1 or 2 days before Pune Yatra. And then Maharaj said, please come to Pune Yatra. And he enjoyed the whole Pune Yatra. And next year his brother came, Pankaj Prabhu. So he was also there for the Pune Yatra. He also had some dental issues. That also got treated. And that was the beginning of their regular visiting Shri Radha Gopinath Mandir. And they were there for all the festivals since then. All the home DT welcoming also they were involved. To the extent that in 2004, Radhana Maharaj declared when Lalita Vishaka came, that time Janas Prabhu was there. He actually installed the deities. And then he told that Jananiyas Prabhu is our head pujari of Radha Gopinath. And when this was announced, just imagine, when he made that statement, it's a relief also for us, right? So that means, we don't have that burden of having that pujari load on our head. At the same time, we are quite comfortable. If anything to ask him, when we talk to him, and when he gets approved, we can say, Janas Prabhu ne bola hai. So nobody can touch us also. Maharaj was so smart in that. So Janas Prabhu has been, and he's still the head pujari of Shri Radha Gopinath Mandir. And today is our fortune that he's here. I don't know whether he's on the way, he's reached, I don't know. But he's here to witness this particular ceremony of appearance of Shri Radha Gopinath. And as I said, that they were the ones who were regular members, actually. To the extent that both of them would always come for all the Pune Yatras. I still remember one where Narsinga prayer was being chanted and both of them were doing that dance of Narsing Dev. Both the brothers, doing that. And this is what? Their love for each other and love for Radhanath Maharaj brought in so many things over here. Like, getting us the Janardhan Shaligram, trying to improve upon the quality of seva here, and, doing so many wonderful services under the auspicious guidance and instruction of His Grace Jananiyas Prabhu. And last but not the least, because I just have only 4 minutes to speak. Now, last but not the least, it's not only the Radha Gopinath Mandir here, the mood has been imbibed by the leaders of this particular congregation. The mood of Trinadapi Sunichena, Taroriva Saishana, Amanina Manadina, Kirtanya Sadari. This has been hammered again and again and again and again and again, that you should always remain humble, tolerant, ready to offer respects to others, not expecting anything from anyone. That mood of Trinadapi Sunichena has been ingrained in our heads. So this is one aspect. Secondly, the same mood is being translated to different places also. Like, this has been the foundation. From here, so many temples have also started. Of course, Belgaum was just there, parallel, but Belgaum can be one place. But then later on, we have the Nigri temple, ISKCON Nigri, we have the NVCC, we have the Pune center, we have the Nashik center, we have the Kolhapur center. All these are having now installed deities, and there the devotees also in this mood, always in the mood of, you know, Trinadapi Sunichena, basically. And not only this, there are so many other, you know, centers which are there around Mumbai, what are called as like, you know, where they have programs going on, different places. And there are a lot of satellite centers. Satellite is what, if Earth is there, there are so many satellites around. So like the Mumbai ke Aaju-Baaju mein, there are about 19 satellite centers now, where the preaching is going on very nicely. And the same mood is being imbibed over there based on the teachings what you have received over here. You know, so this is what is happening all over. Thanks to the wonderful guidance and instruction that we received and we are receiving, and this particular parampara succession that continues on, because of which we see so many wonderful things happening here with much more finesse. Like, you know, same festival, but much more in a better way. Just do much more nicely. So just see this. It appears, you know, it appears so simple it looks, but so elegant. Like that. So every event is like that. That how we can do better, how we can do better, how we can do better. Right? So the leader of the community wants every one of us to take shelter of Shri Radha Gopinath while slowly getting injected the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. Because when you come here and sit, we feel we are sitting in a big palace, like, you know, nice environment, nice ambience, wonderful kirtans, festivals, you know. And now whatever construction going on, one thing is that has not changed is construction. Construction is going on since last 37 years. Never stopped. Never stopped. Right? So that construction down is also taking place so that the temple inmates, when they sit for nice prasad, they can enjoy honoring prasad very nicely. Not only them, the others who come here, they can also enjoy wonderfully. It's like that, you know. So what we need to do is that we just have to be grateful for the facility, and in our own life try to see how I can imbibe this mood. And naturally this, you know, a principle of serving will come. When I get attached to Shri Radha Gopinath, I get attached to devotees who are connected to Radha Gopinath, I also will feel enthused and I would like to contribute something. That will come naturally. You don't have to tell. Right? So when you are given that particular ambience, space, the culture of trying to give, culture of contributing will definitely come. And that is the mood, you know. So we have on one side the deities, but on the other side we also have a responsibility of contributing to others also. Right? That is preaching. We just got attracted to Shri Radha Gopinath, and then we want to also help others to get attracted to them. And then when we get attracted to them, then naturally devotional service will completely follow. So with this, I just like one prayer to be offered here, that whatever may come in our lives, please, Shri Radha Gopinath, don't leave us. Let me be here, let me take shelter. There may be so many ups and downs which may happen in my life, but looking at you, Shri Radha Gopinath, your smile, your loving smile, and looking at Srimati Radharani, who is ready to offer all our whatever services, whether in a right way or not, this way or that way. But Srimati Radharani is always there, you know, always ready to offer our services. And just looking at them, pray that, you know, we can always be at their lotus feet, and whatever is possible, let us do everything which can bring them happiness and bring them joy. What will bring them joy and happiness is when we ourselves live in harmony with each other, in a mood of servant, of the servant, of the servant. You know, this has been always ingrained in our heads. Whenever anybody speaks in the temple here, when the leader of the community speaks, he always emphasis on this point. The principle of cooperation, principle of always being in the das, servant of the servant, and trying to help each other to progress forward. Hare Krishna. Shri Radha Gopinath Avirva Divas ki jai. Nandadula Prabhu, anything else?
Hare Krishna, thank you so much Prabhuji for creating the right mood. Just one small information that may add to what you spoke. You were speaking about Jananivas Prabhu being the head pujari. So actually today we offered lamps in the morning. So we did it for the first time on Radha Gopinath. So this was from Jananivas Prabhu. Jananivas Prabhu, when we called him, then he said, so are you not offering lamps? So we said, we never offered lamps. So he said, no, in Mayapur we do it on Brahmotsavam day and all festivals day. So today on Radha Gopinath appearance day, on the request of Jananivas Prabhu, following his instructions, we started this lamp offering. Haribol.
Whenever I have darshan of Jananivas Prabhu, I always feel that we are very safe and comfortable. Because Radha Maharaj was given the instruction by Srila Prabhupada that whatever you need to do of deity worship, you learn from Jananivas Prabhu. And he also made us also understand the same principle that if you have anything, just take guidance from Jananivas Prabhu. So we are all safe over here because he loves all of us. He loves Radhanath Maharaj. He loves the congregation here. He knows, I don't remember, he knows so many people actually over here. He may not remember what is eaten yesterday, but he will remember, different devotees. And he'll remember what all some instances connected with that also. So he knows a lot of people over here. And he finds himself at home when he comes here. It's like that. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
ओम ब्रह्मदेवाय नमः।
तुम निसंदेही महाबलशाली हो।
मेरे भाई का हत्यारा आज भी जीवित है।
यदि विष्णु से लड़ना है, ब्रह्मदेव की उपासना करो।
ब्रह्मदेवाय नमः।
हिरण्यकश्यपु, मांगो, क्या वर मांगना चाहते हो?
सब कुछ। हे ब्रह्मदेव, मुझे वरदान दीजिए कि आपकी रचना से जन्मे इस सृष्टि के किसी भी जीव से मेरा वध ना हो। न मैं दिन में मरूं और न रात में। मेरी मृत्यु न घर के भीतर हो और न घर के बाहर। न अस्त्र से, न शस्त्र से, न सजीव से, न निर्जीव से।
अंधकार जब हद से बढ़ जाता है, वहाँ प्रकाश का पुनर्जन्म होता है।
प्रहलाद, माँ, मैं तब तक भगवान विष्णु का गुणगान करता रहूंगा जब तक सारे भक्त मुक्त न हो जाएं। एक नाम से सबकी मुक्ति है।
पुत्र, विष्णु का परित्याग कर।
मैं भगवान विष्णु को अपना शत्रु कदापि नहीं मानता।
भगवान को छोड़ दो।
मैं प्रहलाद को मृत्यु दंड देता हूँ।
हम असुर हैं, असुर। ये सब तुच्छ खेल हमारे गुरुकुल में शोभा नहीं देता है।
वे जैसा चाहे वैसा मेरे साथ कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि वे हर परिस्थिति में मेरे स्वामी हैं।
तो बुलाओ सर, आज ये निर्णय हो जाए कि हम दोनों के बीच गीदड़ कौन है और सिंह कौन है।